Hello and welcome to this Big Tom Driving School video. This is going to be a video to help you improve the ability to drive around in areas and locations that you're just not familiar with. That's the whole aim of this video. I'm using Grantham here as an example, but it could be anywhere. I'm going to be using the Asda Roundabout. I'm going to be approaching in different approaches, taking different exits, and pretending that I just don't know where I'm going, just to give you some important things, tips really, to look out for with regard to road signs and road markings, and most importantly of all, giving yourself time. Time is the thing you have control of, because you need to be able to read these signs and markings and then decide where you need to be. You see, that's the whole point. So this is coming down to look at the signs here. Freeze the video if you need to. I'm going to be taking the A52 on this one. So that was fourth exit. Did you spot that? Fourth exit on the right, but it's downhill. Look, the car will be gathering pace if you're not careful. You've got to get onto all of this. Don't want to be rushing around too fast, and because you need to be able to read all of this. Look, so you've just identified it's the last exit, so that helps you with regards to your signals on the approach. You can then count these exits off, you see, as you're going along, because that helps with the timing of actions, doesn't it? Yeah. So that's how this is going to go, this video. This is going to be about coming in at different approaches, taking different exits, sort of on the basis that you don't know Grantham. You know, we don't know Grantham, but this is what we're going to do. And this one here, then, we're going to be coming in from the other approach, petrol station on the left, Asda on the right, and this time we're looking for other routes or A1. Let's say we're looking for A1. So on the roundabout signs coming up on the left in a minute, we want to be looking for A1. And seeing where it is in relation to the 12 o'clock rule, and also which exit number it is, because that gives us important information, that does. And then as we're coming along here, we're looking at our options in terms of the white arrows and the lanes. Splits up into 3 eventually. So the left hand lane there is just for going left, first exit left only. So I've now got 2 right arrows telling me that I've got 2 exit lanes for my exit, and I've chosen to take the middle one. But look at this, look, although I'm going to be coming off the roundabout, so I do need to be over in the outside lane eventually, but I've got to make sure it's safe, haven't I? If I'd have done that too soon, that red car would have impacted with me. So always making sure you do the observations before you move the vehicle in the position in the road. Always make sure it's safe to do so before you put the signal on, before you actually move. And let's say I get through these lights here and I'm coming along here and I'm realising, oh, I now need to be over there. You do the observations before you do the signal, before you actually move over. So that's the thrust of all of this lot. And then coming up to this one here, A52, look at the road markings, A52. And you just don't need to be staying on the gas. You need to be coming off the gas to allow you to buy some time to work out where you need to be and how you need to do it. You've got a yellow box junction here, look, in front of you. So you've got to always make sure that even when that light goes green, you've got to make sure you can get out the other end of the box junction so that you're not sat in there. So that's an important thing to notice, first of all. And then when you do come round here, you then need to be looking for further signs and further road markings. Like I say, feel free to slow the video down or even pause it. Give yourself a chance, your eyes a chance to look where you need to be going, you see. It's really important. Then you've got the traffic lights. They may change, look. And then you've got to give way, look. Triangle there, give way to the right. And we're looking for A52. So look at this sign. It is the third of 4 exits. It is past 12 o'clock. I don't want to be over there in that left-hand lane. That's just for Asda. But look at the options now. I've got 2 options. I'm going to pick the right lane on this occasion, and then I'm going to be checking it's safe before I put a signal on, before I move over. And then when I do move over, I properly move over. So that was taking the A52 there. I will come back to that one because there's more to talk about that approach there. But having a look at this one now. Coming under this bridge. Again, town centre I'm looking for. Town centre. And this time we're going to have the added, not complication necessary, but there's going to be congestion on the roundabout, which is common in, I don't know, Boston and Peterborough, Stamford and Spalding and Lincoln. We often get this congestion on roundabouts. The idea is to not block entrances and exits on the roundabout themselves, you see. That's the idea. When you really should be keeping it clear so that vehicles, that silver car, can actually make its way around to the right. The congestion here, by the way, is to the left. If you're not familiar with this roundabout, it's second next where we're going to be going. That's where the congestion is, because there's some traffic lights, red traffic lights. That's what this is all about. But anyway, we're taking a second exit on the left. Take your time. Don't feel intimidated. Don't feel like you've got to be forcing the issue here. You haven't got to be rushing. Just because you're in slow moving traffic, that is what you're in. You can't do anything about that. Second exit on the left, and just plan it through. So this example here is for town centre. So if you're not sure about these things, go back, rewind it, have a little look at the signs again. Make sure that you are getting this, because this is important. This is for when you're driving around and you just don't know where it is, how you need to be doing it. This is what this is all about. Okay, very good. Moving on then, let's have a little look at this next one. Coming back to this, I said we'd come back to this one, through traffic. So we're looking at another different exit on this one. So this all stays the same, but this is where it begins to differ, because you need to look up at this sign here on the left and recognise that, oh, okay, this one's second exit on the left. Second exit. I don't want to be over there on that left lane, because that'd be Asda. So now, if you think about it, I can only go in this middle one, can't I? For second exit on the left. Really, I can only go on that middle lane there, because I wouldn't want to be in the right lane, would I, on the approach, because that wouldn't be correct. And I don't want to be in the Asda lane on the approach, because that wouldn't be correct. So really, by process of elimination, the only option there for me for taking second exit on the left would be that middle lane. Now, some locals also use that middle lane to go under the bridge as well. So we've always got to be mindful of that possibility. But on that particular example there, to take the second exit on the left, your only option that was viable for you was the middle lane, simply because the other two lanes were for going other different exits. So that's a good example to look at. Coming back to this one here, I'm going to be using on this occasion, before I used the middle lane, I'm going to use the right-hand lane on the entrance, on the approach. So this is quite handy, these lights here. So you see those two right arrows there? This time I'm going to stay in this right-hand lane, which will mean by default that when I take the exit, I'm going to be exiting in the right-hand lane, you see. You'll see what I mean when it all pans out here. But I've made the decision to be in this lane here, and then I've got to maintain that same position on the exit as well, because otherwise I could be affecting other road users around me. You make your decision and then you stick with that, and then you safely go around there and then exiting. Some locals in Grantham, they deliberately do take this exit, this lane here, because they don't want to get involved in all that traffic there on the left. They know that there's traffic lights coming up. They want to go straight over the lights, so they deliberately take this lane. Now, if you're not familiar with Grantham, you wouldn't have that local knowledge, but I only mention it because that is what some people deliberately choose to do on that one. So coming up to this one here, let's have a little look at this. Just want to show you this again, and I want to emphasize something here. So we're coming around to the left, and we could be taking the through traffic exit again, which is, if you remember, second exit on the left. It would be so easy, you know, when you come up to this sign here on the left, to look at the through traffic and you're thinking to yourself, oh, it's to the left, I'll move over to the left. But actually, look at the road markings. That's for supermarket only. Look, it's really important. It'd be so easy to drift yourself over there, and then you're going to be potentially causing problems for other road users, because it's confusing. You're in the wrong position, you know. You've got to make sure you pop yourself. You've got to look at the options available to you, make the correct decision, and then carry that decision out. And that's really, really important kind of concept that happens in driving all the time, you know. Doesn't matter whether you're learning or you've been doing it 20, 30 years. That same concept holds true for the rest of your driving life. It's really, really important to get that into your heads. Okay, look at this. Just want to pop this one in there, because this happened as I was going along filming this for you. Would be interesting to consider what you would do in this situation if this was a driving test. Quite simply, what's going on here, we're just at the red traffic lights there. We're in two lanes, look. We've got traffic coming our way. See that white car there? And we're waiting on the red traffic lights, and all that's going to happen is that as is the case in Grantham and other like Spalding and Stamford, we get a lorry coming in. There it is. The lorry comes in. The lorry wants to come round to the left, but can't make it. You see, this is quite common, this sort of thing to happen. So although he's on a green light, he now can't go any further. Now, as you'll see in a second, we'll start doing little manoeuvrings to try and assist him. See that car there in front of me? Just try to move over a little bit, but no, it's not enough for him. You'll see me, I do a little bit of manoeuvring to try and assist. But it is just literally a bit of gridlock, and there's not much that people can do. So what we do here is we just stay put, let things unfold naturally, don't force the issue. You'll even see in a second a pedestrian coming up the side of the pedestrian wanted to cross the road and couldn't because of the lorry, and so the pedestrian comes up. Look how dangerous this is, look. But there's really not much this lorry driver could have done in this situation. But if you were on test now, although you've got a green light, this would be good to do what you see here. Let that situation unfold first before you just go on the green light. I know this is easy for me to say this, but you know, that's really quite a good example of letting things unfold naturally, really. Very good. Moving on for this one again. Let's have a little look. We're turning right. So this lorry again, look at this lorry. He's got his left. This is where you've got to look for signs of what people are doing. Why is this lorry positioned over to the right with the left signal on? And it's purely and simply down to the fact that he needs more space, doesn't he? He needs a wider turning circle, if you like. So this driver will need to position further over to the right in order to turn left, as lorries do. And we see this common, you know, this is quite a common situation to happen. And again, it's just having the what would you call this, the planning, the anticipation, and allowing other road users to do what they want to do. You know, you see, that was quite legitimate what that lorry did there. Although he was straddling two lanes, he didn't have much choice. But there we go, there's those options again for me. I'm going to take the middle lane here, and there's going to be some congestion. I can already see it. Look over the roundabout, look, see the congestion on the roundabout leading back onto the roundabout. Always a good idea, you know, to just as soon as you can look at the exits where you're intending to go, because that tells me I've got to get myself over there. Can you see that queue in traffic? Got to get myself over there. Like I say, it's always nice if vehicles can leave entrances and exits on roundabouts, leave them nice and open so that people can still be moving. But that was a good example there of actually looking at your exits while you're waiting, you know, while you're still using the time well to see, because I then spotted all of this traffic, you see, and that then told me that I can't be hanging around with moving over. So can you begin to see how you don't switch off? You can still be planning, even though you may not necessarily be doing a lot of movement. There's still looking ahead and planning at how things are going to go. Really, really good example, that one there. And then this one, coming back on this one here, we're going to be taking the A52 again, going under the bridge. And what I want to raise your awareness of here is what some locals do, and that is that we want the A52, but you can't control how people are going to be taking what lane they're going to approach in. So I'm going to be taking the right hand lane there. There could be someone in the middle lane who also wants to go under the bridge, in which case I could do my observations, see that vehicle is there, and go round the roundabout again perhaps, and then go all the way around the roundabout and then take my exit. So just be aware of, although we've discussed this middle lane and the right hand lane and the differences, be aware that is what the observations are all about ultimately, isn't it? It's making sure that what you're intending to do is actually safe. Most people do this properly, but you will spot that there will be some people that do kind of impact you on what your plans are, you see. And it's no great shakes, it's no big deal. It just means you've got to make sure that you can accommodate what others are doing as well. That's all this is about, so that there's no sort of knee-jerk reactions going on where people get shocked by what you're up to. And then lastly, this one here, imagine we're taking the town centre, okay? So this town centre is what we're after, but we don't actually know how this goes. We're not familiar at all with it. all we know is that we want to turn right here at this roundabout. We know it's the third exit, and it is turning right, but other than that, we actually don't know what goes on for town centre. So you do this little bit first of all, as you've seen previously on other clips, and you're coming down to here. You've got no idea. You see the sign there saying town centre down this, so you know you're in the right direction, but 2 lanes now, you don't know which lane you should be in. And this is very real, you know, this is like real life driving. This is, you're on a red traffic light now, don't switch off, look beyond the red traffic lights and you'll start to see little clues. Now there's a little sign on the right hand side. I don't know whether whether you can pick this up on the camera, but it's got a right arrow and it's got town centre on the little sign. So that's on the right hand side of the road, but beyond the red traffic lights. And so that's a little bit of clue. Plus there's the one directional signs, the one-way system, the white arrows on a blue background. So that's telling you that we're coming into a one-way system after the lights. As you can see there with that car, this is two-way at the moment, but we're coming into one-way system after the traffic lights. So you start to put those two things together. You can see directional signs saying to the right for town centre, and you know you're going into a one-way road system. So you start putting that together. You think, so I wonder whether I'm going to need to be getting over into the right-hand lane. You can already start doing observations. I'm not saying you would make the decision now, because you literally don't know yet, but you're beginning to wonder, oh, okay, I wonder what is going to be happening up ahead. And then as you get through the lights here, it all starts to become clearer. There is that sign again on the right-hand side. Plus you've got the markings that are coming up as well. And you begin to realise, oh, okay, yeah. So you do the mirrors and signal and observation. And that is what this is all about, is real life driving, making decisions like that and making sure it's safe. If you have any questions about any of this lot, don't hesitate to ping it up. Thank you.